Imagine clicking on a video, expecting just another story, but within 3 seconds your heart squeezes, because what you're about to hear isn't just a story, it's a wound carved into someone's life, stitched back together by love so unexpected, it feels almost unreal. So before we begin, take a breath, and if this journey moves you, even a little, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because stories like this deserve to be told, shared, and remembered. She didn't consider herself beautiful. Not once. Not ever. From the moment Clara was old enough to hear and understand words, she heard the same ones over and over again, plain. Unremarkable. Nothing special. Her parents never looked at her the way parents should look at their child, with pride, tenderness, or warmth. Instead, her mother would sigh at her, and her father would shake his head as if she were some unlucky accident. And in a town where looks were treated like currency, Clara was considered bankrupt. The day everything changed started like every other morning, quiet, gray, and heavy. Clara was sweeping the porch when a black wagon pulled up outside her home. A well-dressed couple stepped out, and her mother's face lit up, the same smile she never showed her daughter. The woman glanced at Clara the way someone might look at a pair of shoes, checking quality, not humanity. Her mother whispered, "She's plain, but she's healthy. Strong. And obedient." Clara froze. Her heartbeat slowed, thickened. Because she suddenly understood what was happening. Her father walked over, holding out a contract. "They'll take her. For a good price. Better than we expected." The world went silent. The wind stopped. Her breath caught in her throat. They were selling her. Not because they were starving. Not because there was no other choice. But because she wasn't pretty enough to be worth keeping. Clara didn't fight. Didn't scream. Didn't cry. She simply stood there, quiet, plain Clara, feeling a piece of her soul slip away. The couple led her toward the wagon, but before Clara stepped inside, a deep voice broke through the stillness. "That girl isn't for sale." The voice came like thunder rolling down a valley. Everyone turned. A tall man sat atop a broad chestnut horse, his hat low, jaw rough, boots dusty from miles of travel. He looked like he carried the mountains on his shoulders, and had the strength to move them. Clara had seen him before. Only once. A fleeting glimpse at the marketplace. A rich rancher, people whispered. Wade Holloway. The man who owned half the valley and had more money than the rest of the town combined. But that wasn't what made Clara's breath catch. It was the way he looked at her. Not at her clothes. Not at her face. At her. Her very existence. Wade dismounted slowly, eyes never leaving Clara. "I warned you people," he said to her parents, "if you ever tried to sell her, I'd step in." Her mother scoffed. "She's nothing special. Why would you care?" Wade walked closer, steady, calm, terrifyingly sure. "Because she's the only face I've been able to forget since the day I first saw her." Clara's knees nearly gave out. The couple who had come to buy her stepped back, suddenly uncomfortable. Her father stammered, then make an offer." Wade didn't blink. "I'm not buying her. I'm claiming responsibility, because she should have been treated with dignity from the moment she was born." He extended his hand toward Clara. Not grabbing. Not demanding. Simply offering. She stared at that hand, the rough, calloused hand of a man who worked hard but lived free, and for the first time in her life, someone was giving her a choice. She placed her trembling fingers in his palm. Her parents shouted, cursed, and threw accusations. But Wade ignored all of it. He lifted Clara onto his horse as gently as if she were made of glass. The ride to his ranch took hours. Hours of silence. Not awkward silence. He didn't pry, didn't pity, didn't force words out of her. He simply let her be. At the ranch, everything was different. Warm food. Soft bedding. People who smiled at her without mocking her. Animals who nuzzled her hand without hesitation. And Wade, oh, Wade, treated her with a respect she didn't know how to accept at first. He never told her she was beautiful. Not once. Not until one night when she stood outside the barn, watching the sunset paint the sky. Wade stepped beside her, hands in his pockets. You know, he murmured, most folks think beauty is what you see first. I don't. I think beauty is what stays. What settles in your chest. What you feel long after the person is gone. He glanced at her, eyes soft. And you, Clara, you stayed. She swallowed hard, because no one had ever spoken to her that way, not even close. She'd been invisible her whole life. Forgettable. Now she was something someone wanted to hold on to. Slowly, she began to laugh again, to speak without fear, to lift her chin when people looked at her. But every story has its storm. One morning, her parents arrived at the ranch with the sheriff. She belongs to us, her father yelled. We didn't sign anything over. Clara froze, old fear clawing up her throat. The sheriff looked uncomfortable but said, legally, they're her parents. Wade stepped in front of her. Legally, he said calmly, maybe. But morally? They forfeited that the moment they tried to sell her. Her mother barked, she's plain. Worthless. Why do you even want her? Wade's voice dropped, low and fierce. Because she's the only woman I've ever met whose soul shines brighter than any face I've seen. And then Clara did something no one expected, not even herself. She stepped forward, chin lifted, voice steady. I'm not property. And I'm not going back. I choose my life. And I choose who treats me with dignity. The sheriff nodded slowly. She's of age. Her choice stands. Her parents left furious, but Clara felt lighter than she had in her entire life. She turned to Wade, and for the first time, she didn't look away shyly. She said the words she'd been terrified to even think. You saw me when no one else did. Wade smiled, slow and warm. I didn't just see you, Clara. I recognized you. That night, she stood on the ranch porch, watching the stars. This time, she wasn't the plain girl no one wanted. She was the woman someone chose, someone admired, someone loved. Her past didn't define her. Her looks didn't limit her. Her worth wasn't measured by the eyes that failed to see her. It was measured by the heart that finally did. And in the end, that made her more beautiful than she had ever believed possible. If this story touched you, even a little, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more stories that remind us that real beauty is felt, not seen, and real love recognizes what the world overlooks.